You feel like you're obligated treatment, special treatment, because you deny everything. You feel like you're obligated treatment, special treatment, because... No, I'm not obligated special.
Okay, I'm just adding context to my content. Okay, so lawyers must inform clients that their actions break the law and advise against such conduct. While bound by strict confidentiality, lawyers are generally permitted and sometimes required to disclose information to prevent, mitigate, and recertify serious financial crimes or frauds committed by the client that the use of the lawyer's service accorded. So, client can't even ask their lawyer to break a crime for them or help them. Okay. So anyways, let me get to this video.
You're obligated to make the repairs, and you're acting like a dumbass because you're saying you don't have to. You called me names in your video. You've yelled at me. I have never... Yeah, because I'm tired of this treatment. I never called you names, and I just asked you right now as we were... And you wouldn't be acting this way if I didn't have the video camera on. When? You deny
So
everything.
I have the whole video.
You feel like you're obligated treatment.
That's just a little section.
Sorry, those bright lights. No, that's okay. Can you come in so you don't have to face the sun? Yeah, can you come in?
Yeah, the place is not handicap friendly, so I just use canes, bilateral forearm crutches, and a walker.
I'm handicapped.
Besides the wheelchair.
Yeah. Okay, you said you came for the rent. You know, the other day, he said he works here, decided to come in my...
Okay, he came for the rent on a
deny
day
everything. You feel like
okay, this is before he owned the building. Last landlord wouldn't fix nothing. She was mad, said I was a problem tenant because I complained about everything. She didn't like me complaining about the water quality. I wanted disclosure. I wanted testing.
Oh yeah, I want to close it because I want to... Oh, okay. Seeing that black stuff keeps coming out.
But this one will shut the water? No.
Oh, that one? No, that one I have no problem with. That one just never completely shut off. And it gets real humid in here, so I had to shut off the water. I can't use the hot water without it getting... So, why don't you take all this stuff out of there? Get it out of your way. I'm sorry. I was up earlier, and I was throwing up, and I meant to get that out of there.
I was getting really sick. I'm not sure, but I think it was because of the black mold.
See, and it turns the sink orange, the water. Did you notice?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
As soon as we change the faucet, it will be fine. I mean...
Yeah, the guy changed the faucet in the bathtub a couple years ago. He was supposed to come back and change this, but he never did. And he was complaining about the water usage. And I said, well, I told you after I first moved in, and nothing was done, and so that's all I wanted to,
All right.
Oh yeah, and look up there, from the water leaks upstairs. I was telling her about
and there's
that.
been a couple more since then. This was December 23rd.
This was the second
2024.
one, and that was the third one.
All right, I'll take pictures of
She was upset because I wouldn't sign a lease, and I wouldn't pay the rent
about
increase.
you exactly.
Take me to court. Said she was going to sue me. She wanted $1,200 a month.
Some videos. There was orange
$400 increase.
On the floor, up here, in the sink, on the toilets. I came to use the bathroom, and
They didn't want to fix nothing.
Next time we'll need a bucket because it's not stopped.
you deny everything.
Okay. Okay, so I told the landlord in that video where it's about landlords have to fix everything. Took them a while to replace the refrigerator. I have a video of that, and they left, took the old one and left the new one in the front room, and I'm handicapped, and it took me a little bit, and it hurt, but it got where it was supposed to go. Okay. So, here I am living with renting with at your risk policies. You know, I'm worried about the electrical damage. I'm worried about electrical fires. I'm too old. I'm handicapped. There's no way I'm gonna get out of here really quick. So you know, yeah, okay. I complain, but I want what I'm supposed to have.
You feel like you're obligated.
So he said he was gonna. The other lady, I talked to her lawyer. Or I don't know, but I told her to talk to her lawyer, and she called me, and I think they had me on conference call, but they hung up because I was mentioning this. Lawyers have a duty to advise clients against breaking law and avoid assisting in criminal fraudulent acts while confidentially. It's paramount lawyers may disclose confidential information, prevent, mitigate, or recertify substantial financial injury caused by the client's crime or fraud in which the lawyer's services were used to prevent reasonable certain death or substantial bodily harm. Okay, I fell down a couple times. One time in the kitchen because of one of the water leaks in the ceiling in the kitchen. I fell down.
You deny everything. You feel like you're obligated treatment, special treatment. Because
so I was telling people about this. A conspiracy against rights under the color of law. File a complaint. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so if you look up a conspiracy against rights, all it takes is 2 or more people.
You deny everything.
And that lawyer
you feel like you're
not stopping his client.
Special treatment.
Shut up.
You deny everything. You feel like you're obligated treatment, special treatment. No, I'm not obligated special treatment.
Okay, conspiracy against rights under the color of law definition. Conspiracy against rights under the color of law. Federal crime where 2 or more persons, often public officials, and I don't know if you know this, but all lawyers are public servants and considered public officials. Police, judges, officials conspire to willfully injure, threaten, or intimidate anyone for exercising their constitutional rights, you know. And I've been exercising my constitutional rights because if you check in the public trust doctrine, it's you know, a citizen's right to have clean water. And they told me no. The last landlord said no. That's up to the government. No, the government's duty is to get clean water to this building. Once it hits this building, that's on you. And her guy that was here, he was saying it's the whole plumbing system. It's got to be repaired, replaced. It's old. It's antiquated, not just for the water, but for the sewage water. You know, the water goes down the tub, the toilet. You know, and that's why there was a lot of backup. And they replaced the drain in the tub, but water's starting to back up again, and what they're doing is just you know, the screen door on a submarine thing. Okay, so filing fraudulent and frivolous. Lawyers filing fraudulent and frivolous claims violate ethical rules prohibiting dishonesty and deceit, risking severe sanctions, including fines, disbarment, and legal malpractice liability, such as actions designed to misuse the court system, can prompt judges to penalize attorneys and require them to pay opposing legal fees. Attorney discipline fraud, preventing abuses in the legal system and the federal courts. See, and I'm just talking about the rules of professional conduct, but once you look up, because those are a bunch of laws, I'm showing you, that's the law right there. You know, that's the law, and they don't give a shit about the law. Neither do the judges. So you're going to have to do it yourself. Rule 3.3, candid towards tribunal. So this is the AI overview. Candid towards tribunal, ABA Model 3.3 requires attorneys to act honestly with courts, prohibiting them from knowingly making false statements of law, fact, offering known false evidence, or failing to disclose directly adverse legal authority. This duty obligates lawyers to correct them previously made false statements and take remedial measures if they discover material evidence is false. False statements. Lawyer must not knowingly make false statements of material fact or law. Evidence. A lawyer cannot offer evidence they know to be false. They says they have a lease that I signed from the old landlord, but I have emails and texts from her constantly reminding me that she needs a lease. And then in our text, she wanted to sell the building, and she couldn't sell the building unless she had a lease from everybody. And the text is, kind of funny. Oh, you want me? She said I was coming between her and the owner or the new owner, and don't put her in the middle, something like that. But I still have her text. She thinks because she deleted her text that it's deleted on my side. Just because people got money does not make them smart. Competence requires lawyers to provide representation with legal knowledge, skill, thoroughness, and preparation are reasonably necessary in the fundamental ethical duty involving ongoing learning, including technological proficiency, and requires adequate investigation of facts and law. So when I spoke to the lawyer, I told him, hey, this is this guy's lawyer. In the video, his lawyer called me. First he said that the landlord said I wasn't paying the rent. I said, no, I paid the rent. He just came here demanding an increase, and I rejected that because he is refusing to make the needed repairs. And he says, well, he has a right to raise the rent. I'm pretty sure the lawyer has a recording. Yeah, he has a right to raise the rent, but there has to be some substantial fact for raising the rent. He said because of taxes. He just bought the building and the taxes went up, so he needs to raise the rent $150. I said, well, we'll talk about that after you fix everything. And everything here is, the landlord's incompetent, his employees are incompetent, especially this lawyer, because he has to be really incompetent for not, did he advise his client that he's breaking the law? Didn't he tell him, hey, stop that, this was supposed to be taken care of before you even bought the building? Or you were supposed to make a legal agreement with the previous owners to make all these repairs. She didn't, you didn't. She was supposed to do that before when she bought the building. And there was disclosure required to let all the tenants know, hey, this is a rent at your own risk place, you could die in a fire while you're sleeping, from all the water leaks and the damage, It was one time I was sitting on the toilet and it started raining. It was like it was raining in there. And then when they play with the water pressure, one time I got in the shower and I struggle. I have the shower chair and things to help me not fall getting in and out. And the water pressure was so low, one would have to run around to get wet, and I couldn't run. But there's things they're doing on their own, and they have no idea what they're doing because nobody gets to finish a sentence around here before landlord gets mad and walks away. And there's like 5 other people that got eviction notices and from this building, and the landlord sent out 26 other, and the guys that delivered the eviction notice said it was because of same reasons. Nobody wants to make repairs. You know, why don't they just make it fixable, livable? And that was the guy that delivered the court summons. I think he was a Cook County sheriff. I didn't give him no problems. I'll add that to this later. But we'll end it with this guy.
I decided to come in, open my door, walked in. He didn't know, he did not knock on my door. That was Wednesday. My healthcare worker was here. I was trying to get into my wheelchair. Somebody turned the doorknob, held it, and wait, I'm talking here, okay? Were you with him? Because there was somebody with him when he came in. He got this far. He got this far right here, and he stood there looking at me in shock. I said, "Who the hell are you?" He said, wait, I'm talking. I said, "Who the hell are you?" He said, "Don't worry, I work here." I said, "Identify yourself." And he laughed and he walked out. "Oh, I'm just next door. I'm just next door." What does that guy? Yeah, you're going to make that stupid look because you weren't here.
I wasn't there.
Okay, and how about all the repairs that everybody refused to make? I showed you the bathroom. I showed you the kitchen, the leaks from the kitchen, the bathroom, the ceilings falling apart. You told me you weren't here to remodel. I didn't ask you to remodel. When I talked to the landlord before you, the people who own the building before you, I talked to them about making the repairs. They said the same thing, and they said that was on me. When I talked to them about the black mold, the lady said, "Well, I heard you were dirty." She changed the locks and locked me out of the basement. You know, there's a washer and dryer down there that I couldn't use. But you don't care. You don't care because you weren't here. Okay, so I'm letting you know. You know, when the building transfers, they said they didn't have to make the repairs. They didn't make the repairs. They knew legally they had to. Now, I told her, before you sell the building, these buildings have she said, "No, we don't have to make the repairs." I said, "Yeah, I know legally, but if you sell the building, there has to be some arrangement with the next landlord when these repairs will be made." She said, "You take it up with them. And then you come along." When you first came here, you came here with that guy and you used the key to come in, didn't ring the doorbell and didn't knock. And when I called the police, I called the police. The police they didn't even arrest you.
Wasn't me, but
Oh, that wasn't you.
of course not.
Of course not. Oh, no, it's never you. It's never the landlord. Okay, now you said you came to get the rent, which I pay electronically. I've been having a hard time with my phone because my hands are shaking because I fell down. Okay, so I don't want to put nothing wrong in it. I made mistakes before using my phone. Okay, so...
Now I pay the bill electronically through Zelle. It goes directly to his stupid account. But he came there to collect the rent. I don't carry cash. He knows that. I've already paid him the rent for 6 months.
And as far as you coming here and yelling at me about not getting that letter, remember you came? Yeah, I remember you came here complaining that
Yeah, he came here complaining because he had some mail returned to him. And it said return to sender or something. I don't know. But me and a few other people, he sent letters in the mail that got returned to him. So he came to question us all why he came back. And now he's denying it. I should have...
Yes, you...
People, any confrontations you have with any of your landlords, please record them. You know, never let them get away. Because this guy, the other landlord before him, they used to come here and make up laws. And I guess they thought because maybe I was an immigrant or, you know, I didn't understand the laws or the language or I don't know.
Did you were mad because I didn't get a letter? It got returned to you, and you were mad, right?
Absolutely not.
Well, absolutely not.
I keep asking.
You
check your mailbox.
And I said yes, and you got mad because you got a piece of it. Okay, you were happy. You were ecstatic. You were glorious. You were having a parade. You were having a parade because The letter you sent me was sent back to you. And not only from my apartment, other apartments. And you wanted to know why I didn't get the letter. I told you I wasn't responsible for the mail. I wasn't the postman. And you gave me the same ridiculous look you're giving me now. But you kept asking me why I did not get that letter. I told you I'm not the mailman. I'm not responsible. Go talk to the post office. It's stupid to come here and yell at me because I'm not the mailman. I didn't reject the mail. Other tenants, they did the same thing. But why did you question me? Why didn't you go to the post office and ask them instead of me?
Never yelled at you. Just like
You never yelled at me?
Never yelled at you.
Okay. So in that letter, you said, according to the lease, you're.
Yeah, well, when the camera was off, he was giving me the evil eye, Mexicans say, the osos, mad dogging me. And now he's, talking in a kindly voice where he wasn't before. That's why I decided to record him.
You're going to raise the rent.
Exactly.
Okay. Without making any repairs.
Renting.
Without remaking. I never missed the rent. But I have the right to reject that rent increase because of the lack of repairs.
You do not? But
You listen. Listen. The last landlord threatened to take me to court, and the one before that. You know when was the last time I had a lease here? 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
Right. 16, 15.
Nobody wanted to.
Don't hold me to the letter on law on that. I found maybe the last time I had a lease was, I don't know, but the problem with the second landlord, after they sold the building the first time I lived here, they gave me a lease, and it was minus my $3,000 security deposit. It just said zero. And I said, I'm not signing that. You got to correct that. They said, well, I called them. I said, just, write it in and put your initials and, it'll be okay. And I told them, no, I don't care for the litigation if I decide to move. What do you mean? I said, if you sell the building and I move, they're going to say, hey, right here you signed a lease, $0 on security deposit. Well, you just go ahead and no. You do it from your end, redo the lease and have it showing. And they did, and I signed that lease. I forgot what year that was. But they did it again the following year, zeroed out the security deposit. So I said, I'm not signing. You got to put that in there. And that was the last. I have it in my email, though. And I have it in an email just, about them wanting to raise the rent and me signing the lease with the landlord before him.
Nobody wanted to give me a lease because they had to take me to. I got letters. They threatened to evict me. I said, go ahead, take me to court.
Rent, you will get evicted, just like everyone.
I'm paying you the rent. I'm gonna pay you the rent today.
Right. Do it. Make sure it's $950.
No, the rent is $800.
$950.
The rent is $800.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not based on that notice.
Listen, I've been helping the people out a lot. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the other ones. If you want to raise the rent, you got to take me to court. You want to evict me? You're going to have to explain to the judge why you refuse to make all these repairs. Why the building has exchanged hands repeatedly with everybody refusing to make the necessary repairs in the building.
Which repair? Show me the repairs. We'll make it.
I showed.
Yeah, so the building's falling apart, and it keeps exchanging hands, and every time it does, they raise the rent without making any repairs, turning not just the area I live in, Hickory Hills, into a slum. But I mean, it's when I lived in Chicago, certain areas of Chicago, they did that. Problem is, it is against the law to let these buildings, what happened to them happen.
You deny everything.
You feel like you're obligated treatment.
You deny every
Treatment. Special treatment.
you do the repairs. You deny everything. You deny everything.
Okay,
You
well-
deny everything.
Like I said, I was talking to some people about this conspiracy against rights under the color of law. No matter what courtroom we're going to, it's happening. And it's easy to prove. All you need is the rules of professional conduct and the code of judicial conduct. Nobody does any of that. Those are the laws within a court of law, and reporting misconduct is mandatory because violating the rules or codes is misconduct. Reporting misconduct is mandatory, and nobody does that. Thus, everybody covering each other's ass. That's what gives you conspiracy against rights under the color of law. All right, thank you and good night. I just had to add some
You deny everything.
contact.
You deny everything.
Contact to my
You feel like you're obligated.
context to my
treatment.
contact.
You deny everything.
You feel like you're obligated. Treatment. Special treatment.
You deny everything. Everything.
You feel like you're obligated. Treatment.
You deny You deny everything.
You feel like you're obligated. Treatment. Special treatment.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.